The Oracle of Delphi, the most powerful woman in ancient Greece, once issued a command that stunned everyone: build a city wall out of cheese. This was no riddle, her word was law, believed to be the voice of Apollo himself. The people obeyed, no matter how strange the order. This episode shows the oracle's immense influence. Her pronouncements, however bizarre, shaped the actions of entire communities. Her guidance was often cryptic, sometimes baffling, but always treated as sacred. Imagine being a king, preparing for war, and receiving a prophecy so ambiguous you couldn't tell if it meant victory or doom. The faith in her was absolute, a testament to the ancient need for certainty in a chaotic world. The cheese wall story isn't just amusing, it's a window into the unshakable trust Greeks placed in their oracle. Her words could launch fleets, found cities, and decide the fate of nations. The oracle's power was built on centuries of belief, ritual, and a carefully maintained aura of mystery. The Oracle of Delphi was always a woman, known as the Pythia, a priestess chosen to serve Apollo. She wasn't royalty, but a local woman of good character, plucked from ordinary life and transformed into a vessel for the divine. Once chosen, she left her family and dedicated her life to the god, living within Delphi's sacred precinct. Her fame was legendary. Kings, generals, and commoners alike sought her counsel. The Pythia's prophecies were believed to be Apollo's own words, making her the most trusted voice in the Greek world. She lived in purity and simplicity, detached from politics and wealth, to maintain her credibility. This impartiality was crucial. Her prophecies had to be seen as untainted by personal ambition. The title Pythia comes from the mythic Python, the serpent slain by Apollo at Delphi. By sitting at the site of this ancient battle, the Pythia became the living bridge between mortals and the gods. She was more than a priestess. She was the guardian of a cosmic truth. For over 1,000 years, her words shaped the destiny of the Greek world. Delphi's setting was as important as the oracle herself, perched on Mount Parnassus, believed to be the center of the world. Pilgrims traveled treacherous roads to reach this sacred place, drawn by its reputation and beauty. The sanctuary was a sprawling complex: treasuries, a grand theater, a stadium, and the awe-inspiring Temple of Apollo. Before seeing the oracle, visitors underwent purification rituals, bathing in the Castalian spring, paying a fee, and sacrificing a goat. Priests examined the omens. If unfavorable, even the powerful were turned away. Only a select few after these rituals could enter the temple's inner sanctum. The journey was designed to humble and awe, preparing supplicants for a divine encounter. Inside, incense filled the air and dedications lined the walls. The supplicant was led into the presence of the Pythia, seated in a dark, mysterious chamber. Every step reinforced the sense of leaving the mortal world behind. Delphi was a masterclass in psychological preparation for the sacred. At the heart of Delphi was the Adyton, the forbidden chamber where the Pythia delivered her prophecies. She sat on a bronze tripod above a fissure, entering a trance as the atmosphere grew thick with mystery. Supplicants never spoke to her directly. Their questions were relayed by priests. The Pythia, after chewing laurel leaves and drinking sacred water, would fall into a divine frenzy, her voice changing, her body convulsing. Her utterances were often incoherent, but the priests interpreted them, shaping her words into poetic, ambiguous verses. The final prophecy was not the Pythia's raw speech, but a carefully crafted message. This two-step process allowed for ambiguity, protecting the oracle's reputation. If a prophecy failed, blame could fall on interpretation, not the divine. The prophecies were famously ambiguous, like telling King Croesus a great empire would fall, without saying whose. This forced rulers to think deeply about their choices. The oracle didn't give answers, she gave riddles that demanded wisdom. Her counsel was profound, ensuring her words could almost always be seen as true. This ambiguity was the secret to her enduring influence. For centuries, the oracle's trance was seen as divine possession. But as science advanced, scholars searched for earthly explanations. The entire Delphic experience was psychological theater. Rituals, incense, and awe primed both Pythia and supplicant for extraordinary experiences. The Pythia, chosen for her piety and perhaps her susceptibility to trance, likely believed she was channeling Apollo. Chewing laurel leaves and fasting could induce altered states. The priests, meanwhile, were shrewd political observers, gathering intelligence from travelers and diplomats. They crafted prophecies that were ambiguous yet insightful, rooted in real-world knowledge. This blend of psychological conditioning, ritual and political savvy explains the oracle's success. The Pythia and priests likely believed in their mission, seeing themselves as clarifying the god's will. It was this potent mix of faith, psychology and wisdom that kept Delphi's authority alive for centuries. In the late 20th century, science uncovered a new layer to the oracle's mystery. Ancient texts described the Pythia sitting above a chasm, inhaling sweet-smelling vapors. For years, archaeologists dismissed this as myth, until geologists found the Temple of Apollo sat atop intersecting fault lines. These faults allowed gases, including ethylene, to seep up from the earth. Ethylene is a potent intoxicant. In low doses it induces euphoria and trance-like states. The Pythia, seated above these fissures, would have inhaled the gas, entering her famous trances. This scientific discovery matches ancient accounts almost perfectly. The oracle's altered state was likely a natural phenomenon, not just religious ecstasy. Far from diminishing her importance, this grounds her power in a unique intersection of geology and belief. The voice of Apollo, it seems, was carried on a whisper of natural gas. Delphi was a spiritual center built on a geological marvel. The real genius of Delphi was in the crafting of its prophecies. The priests transformed the Pythia's gas-induced utterances into elegant, ambiguous poetry. This ambiguity was key. A clear prophecy could be proven wrong, but a riddle could always be interpreted to fit events. Take the wooden walls prophecy. Athenians debated its meaning, ultimately choosing their navy and winning at Salamis. The oracle's riddles forced leaders to use their own judgment, shifting responsibility for outcomes onto them. This strategic ambiguity made the oracle a powerful tool for diplomacy and stability. The priests were masters of framing, ensuring the oracle was never wrong. Their counsel promoted caution and debate, not rash action. The oracle was less a fortune-teller, more a wise elder guiding the Greek world. Her influence was as much human wisdom as divine inspiration. The Oracle of Delphi was the cultural and moral cornerstone of ancient Greece for 12 centuries. Her influence reached from state decisions to private anxieties, shaping philosophy, politics, and law. Socrates' quest for wisdom began with her pronouncement. City-states sought her approval before founding colonies. Delphi was neutral ground, uniting rivals and legitimizing new settlements. The oracle's authority created a shared Hellenic identity and a common moral framework. Her responses helped codify religious practices and ethical norms. She reinforced justice, piety, and moderation across the Greek world. Most importantly, she offered hope and certainty in a dangerous, unpredictable world. The belief in her guidance provided order and meaning to Greek life. The oracle was a beacon, giving Greeks the confidence to build, fight, and create a legacy we still admire. Her words shaped not just events but the very soul of a civilization. The Oracle of Delphi's story is a blend of myth, history, and science. From the cheese wall to her mountain sanctuary, her power was rooted in faith, ritual, and psychological mastery. Modern science revealed the role of intoxicating gases, grounding her trances in geology. Yet it was the human element, the priest's skillful interpretation, that turned her words into instruments of influence. The oracle was the linchpin of Greek civilization, a moral compass, political arbitrator, and unifying force. Her ambiguous prophecies encouraged wisdom and deliberation. From Socrates to Themistocles, her echo shaped history. The sanctuary fell silent in 393 AD, but her questions remain. How do we seek wisdom in uncertainty? The oracle's tale reminds us of the enduring interplay between faith, reason, and the mysteries beneath our world. If you want to explore more ancient secrets, subscribe for more journeys into history.